I am RYW Pato. With me on the internets is Highwind.
Oh yeah, the magic that is the internet.
I thought it was friendship that was magic, but I guess internet
Oh,
can be magic too. That's all right. We got a sweet game for you coming up. Team Wizfujiin, consisting of many members of PG, versus almost the Vancouver representative team coming in here with a little bit of dash of some East Coast Canada team. So maybe this is the Canada team. This might be Canada versus the Northwest going on right now. So yeah,
I don't know. This is going to be an exciting match because I mean, Roshan has played with with PG a lot, kind of like substituting.
Yeah, he was
filling
actually
in.
trying out a little bit with their team for a bit.
So he's got inside infos. Knows how that duo queue of Satsulo and Wizfujiin will play out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very strong combination. Again, any Judgment tournament where you have two players of that caliber that play a lot together. Wizfujiin and Satsulo have been duo queuing nonstop. Satsulo actually getting out of the jungle and actually taking more of a support role, which he's been doing lately. He's been playing a lot of Lulu. He feels that Lulu is very strong. He's been watching the Korean scene and likes Lulu for a lot of her deniability in that bottom lane. It's very, very hard to kill an AD carry with a Lulu on board just because of all the slow defense, and that ult is so ridiculous. And after these quick bans, it looks like Wizfujiin is just going to troll us a little bit with this Master EB. It's okay. We're not going to bite it until he locks in, but he is going to lock it in. So we might see some AP mid-Yi, which again would be another Korean strategy that they've probably seen, taken, and they want to try to adapt. Because I know there was a Korean team recently that played, I believe, against the Zubu Blaze, one of the Azubu teams, and they actually took him pretty deep with some APE play.
I feel like when you're that good, you can play whatever the hell you want. I know.
Okay, so I just got a message that Yi is actually a placeholder for Diana. So hold the phone. It's not going to be Wizfujiin. Good guy Satsulo filling me in here. Thanks for that.
Hopefully you filled in the other team because that's also important.
Yeah. Again, placeholders are allowed. Again, all these players don't have every champion unlocked like Highwind and myself because we're just super baller League of Legends players. They actually, a lot of these players, you have your order, you set up how you want to, but if a good pick's there and you're the top player, your captain doesn't have it, or whoever you put at the top of the draft board doesn't have the champion you want, you can use proxy picks like this, like a Master Yi.
I want to go ahead and let people know that on our Raise Your Weapon Media 3 channel, we're going to have the RCCS Youth Group casting the I'm Black Y'all versus Endless Integrity match. I went ahead and posted that link in stream. Go ahead and throw that link up on our Facebook. So if you're so inclined to tune in and watch both at once, by all means, if you want to tune into one and not the other. But I definitely recommend jumping over into their stream chat. Just give them a quick shout out. Those guys are amazing. They brought us out to cast the Summoner Showdown way back in the day when we got to first meet Roshan now.
Yep.
And I think I Love JVU is in that event.
And Altec, who, shout out, it's Skilly, as he used to be known. He's not Skilly anymore. I forget what he changed his name to. Something silly. But Altec, shout out to Altec, because Altec, last I saw, was second on the overall solo queue ladder.
Oh, that kid's so good.
He's been doing some work.
Did he fire Roshan? Is that what happened? Like, Roshan, you're not good enough anymore. You're fired. I'm gonna find me a real support. Just kidding. We love Roshan's support. We think he's a really baller.
Yeah.
Support.
And especially on that Janna, which he's very well known for. So I'm interested to see, how Satsulo is going to deal with that. Obviously, he's coming back with the Blitzcrank, so he feels very confident in that. He's going to Blitzcrank Corki, and maybe Satsulo playing with Roshan knows that he's abusable with some Blitzcrank play.
So I don't know if you saw this, but I think they did a recap of PAX. Like I saw some sort of video where did a recap of PAX, and there was a scene where they throw a Blitzcrank sweatshirt out into the crowd, and some tall black man jumps really high and snatches it out of the front row. Take care to guess who that might have been?
Who?
Our good friend Dom.
Yeah, actually, if it was finals day, I actually saw him game 1 of TSM versus Dignitas up there trying to get the crowd hype. Like he was like raising his arms, trying to get. Not that it was hard to get the crowd hype because everybody was screaming their heads off. But I know that after game 1 though, he had seen enough, and he was like, I know TSM's gonna win, and he let someone else take that front seat. So good guy Dom, taking that front seat, getting in there, supporting League of Legends. Obviously, he's a huge fan, an awesome dude. So good to see him getting some love.
Yeah, and Area Defect was amazing, and that was probably one of my highlights.
Yes.
Of the event. Going Thursday, so the day before PAX, going to the first day of the qualifiers, riding up the escalator with the team members of Dignitas, because there weren't that many people there, it was open. You could sit wherever you want. We got to run into some of our favorite casters, Tom Searfoss, also known as Optimus Tom, and Gigi Monte Cristo, those guys that have been doing casting for MLG recently. So we get to run into them. We got to hang out with AOD right before they went up on stage. And actually, I think we were planning on doing some sort of after party stuff, but I think I was just beat for the day. I ended up going home.
No, but yeah, I mean that event was a lot of fun. Thursday, like if you can get in there, especially Thursday was kind of unique in the fact that there, like every other day, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday through, it's completely swamped. Like it's standing room, people are flowing in and out. It's a lot harder to get a hold of people. It's a circus. But Thursday was like pretty chill. Like there were seats everywhere. You could walk up and find anybody. They're gonna restart this game just really quickly, due to the fact that they have to swap in that Diana pick. So Wizfujiin taking one for the team. He's gonna come back, and we're gonna get this underway. But yeah, PAX was awesome. Anybody that had this in chat that got to go to PAX, I'm sure you know it was awesome. But anybody that doesn't go to these events, go to these live events. MLG, maybe not so much anymore. I don't know how their situation's going to be going forward and after the last event. But the season finals, I know the tickets are pretty much already sold out for everything there. But if you did happen to get tickets, you're going to have a lot of fun. Or if you happen to scalp a ticket while you're down in the USC area, you're going to have a lot of fun because these events are really cool. All the players are approachable. The cool thing about our sport as it gets more professional, at least, is that it seems like a lot of players are still very approachable. All the Riot employees are completely approachable, even though Brandon Beck. Anybody you can name, you can pretty much walk up to, have a conversation with.
I got fist bumped so many times by Brandon Beck. Like, it was no joke.
That guy has award-winning smile. Seriously. I'm pretty sure when they got their 10 cent, like 10 cent came in bottom or whatever, I think he just smiled at them and they were like, I like your smile, and then they just gave him like $1 billion. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, PAX was so awesome. I didn't even go for the last day of PAX for the finals. I was probably super hype. I bet that room was packed.
It was actually kind of funny because as a caster, I mean, a lot of people were like, they want to talk to players and get all the pictures and stuff like that and watch the games. And for me, like, the games were kind of second. I actually, one of the things I did when I was watching is I was actually watching because they were getting really professional there. You know, Riot's really stepped up their game. And they had a teleprompter in there. And so when Freak and Riv for the finals were casting their game, I was watching the teleprompter and catching, like, when they would improv and when they were actually reading for the teleprompter and like how that was going. And then it was also funny to see, like, because they're watching the teleprompter, and just to the right of that is the monitor of what's being shown on the stream. And so then in the background you had the crowd that was raising their thunder sticks like in unison, like every once in a while, and you could tell that like their eyes would slightly like dart over. They're like trying to follow the prompter. So that was actually a lot of fun to see that behind the scenes. Plus the whole booth that they had up there for like all the, you know, the audio work and all the stuff that was going on in the background to make that event so professional and so ridiculously amazing. Like, it was actually pretty cool to check that stuff out.
Well, guys, we do apologize that we did not cover Summoners. No big deals there. We're going to run it just like Riot. Normally we have that technology for you.
Yeah, I switched it to unblocked and then I undid it. I'm sorry. Bad guy Pato, apparently. I don't think it's really going to come into play. I don't think these guys switch their summoner spells at the last second checking matchups, so I think we're good. I think the summoners are pretty locked in.
But yeah, we're has the world the championships, have they been like announced if it's sold out yet or not? I know they were announcing that it had gone on sale.
All the playoffs have been sold out. The World Championships is close to sold out probably.
What playoffs?
There's the playoffs before. There's the championship, which is the final round, and then there's the playoffs, which is all the other 12-team tournament that's over 3 days.
All right.
So there's the playoffs, and then like a week later is like the final 2 teams, best of 5, go at it for everything.
Well, we've got a couple minutes here. Let's take a look at these team comps.
Breezair shouting. He's like, comment on my awesome Shyvana pick.
We're going to go ahead and take a look at the blue team. Satsulo did not swap, so he's going to be playing mid Anivia, which is rare. Normally, we've seen him in the jungle or possibly top lane. Could be his brother ringing for him. I wouldn't put that. And you know what? These guys are twins. They both have 2K
They're basically the same person. Let's be honest.
It's kind of the same thing. So Evil Cookie jungling Diana now. This, from someone that's probably been playing not enough League of Legends to come in here and play Diana jungle, that's just probably shows when's the last time he played League of Legends, because he probably was playing back when the Diana came out, was OP, and I don't think she's been nerfed too much since then. Has her base ratios, because it was her base ratios that were just obscene, and they scaled really well.
Yeah, they nerfed her a little bit. Like, Diana's jungle is basically... It's pretty interesting. I'm interested to see how much he's actually played it, because if he's played a lot of it and he lands the Q, then like he's pretty much good to go. But depending on how good he is at landing that, if we see him miss a few kind of funky ones, then it's really going to hurt his ability to pull off ganks and stuff like that. I know it has a low cooldown. Everybody screams like, oh, but you just have to wait 3 seconds. Well, 3 seconds, if you're trying to gank someone, if you give them 3 seconds to run away, they're gone. I'm sorry. Like you don't have another 3 seconds to land another one. So
I like Reaper Face here on Aurelia. She's always kind of that safe top solo. Even if she does fall behind a little bit, she'll still be a threat from between that mid to late game. Blitzcrank will always be a threat, no matter how shitty you are as a Blitzcrank. You can easily just land that one grab and convert it. You can convert a 5v5 into a 6v4 as you laugh all the way to the Nexus.
Yeah, you can also do some pretty cool counter jungle play by actually pulling buffs over walls and giving it with your team if you have some good coordination. I know that was a favorite of TSM. Of course, they stopped doing it because teams found out that they were so predictable that they would actually just prepare for it, and TSM would be in a lot of trouble.
And then finally we got Wizfujiin on Corki. Now, normally we see Wizfujiin play a lot of like Varus. I think that was one of the, when he bust out on the scene, I'm like, holy shit, who is this 2K player in the Pacific Northwest that's just dominating people in the bot lane, not named Otter? And his Varus was just like, man, this guy really was like, man, why am I not playing Varus? Well, A, I'm terrible in the bot lane, but B, I think he's got a whole slew, and I'm excited to see this Corki pick. But here in the bot lane, we do see Roshan playing Janna. We're going to see Breezair playing Shyvana. I do like Shyvana. I think if they run a 2v1 strats, they're purple side, so I would like to see that. I know you and I talked about a little bit when we were watching the event at PAX, but we feel pretty comfortable running, I would say, teams that start blue side, teams that start top side, whether it's red or purple, depending on your colorblind mode. You running in that 2v1 strat is solid. Now, there's a couple things to capitalize on. You want to make sure that who's ever running the 1v2 comes out ahead. So if they have a really good 1v2, then
and usually it's reliant on whoever your top solo player, your champion is. So if you have someone that can farm from range, that and while he's getting harassed by 2 champions, and he can do it better than your opponent, then that's what you want to do. But the important other thing too is the conversion afterwards. It's not just like, do we win? Like, am I up in CS now, and then when we swap, we basically give up that advantage? When we leave the solo laner to just sit there. So it really kind of, it's like risk reward has to pay off. The other advantage, of course, for red team is you have double golems up top, so you can farm those up and get a level advantage, which should allow you to kill that turret really, really quickly, and then then you have the swap.
Well, yeah, and there's a couple options for running that 2v1. I like to call it the early turret, and then transition that into dragon advantage. Or what you can do is kind of stay up there until about that. If you know the enemy team starts blue buff, then you can stay up there until that rebuff respawns. Then you can usually have your jungler come in, especially Shyvana, who has that mobility, and then you can set up that that 7 minute 15-second blue steal, which is something you would probably want to do against an Anivia. So I mean that's definitely, there's a couple options there for running a 2v1 top. It really also depends on now how well did your level 1 go. I just think it makes sense. So I like what the Roshians, they're dropping an early ward here, and it definitely looks like they're converting a lot of resources here at top. And we see Sivir already up here, so we're probably going to see something like this. And going for shutting down an Aurelia, especially if they can pull up an early kill in that top lane, will be the best thing that can go for them. The thing about Aurelia is, we said it earlier, she's really good at last hitting under turret. She's got a farming ability. And even if she starts off behind, and eventually she's gonna get that farm. She's gonna get probably that wit's end. She'll probably get a Triforce. Eventually she'll get a GA if the game goes long enough, and she's gonna be really hard to deal with.
She's gonna be annoying, but and so both teams. CC reduction, so. Both teams just kind of playing it out, playing pretty cautious, pretty coordinated right here. Red obviously putting a ward at their blue buff, so they're going to be able to see blue come in on their blue buff, and they'll be able to respond appropriately if they want to. I actually like the use of this Orianna, command attacking, leaving her ball up there in that brush so they could see them coming around, possibly if they wanted to. Although the enemy team, once they saw her ball, would probably figure that they've been seen too. So this should be interesting. If Red team times this right, collapses correctly, they could pick up a first blood here. And it might be on to Diana. The rest of the team just kind of backing off. They're supporting just a little bit.
Oh, I like
this. Go on top. Oh, and Anivia's going to be caught on the way. She will have her egg, but it's not going to matter. And that is first blood. Red team so sneaky, so clever. And that's a little bit of that, that Roshan Now play that we've seen. They've always had this really good kind of training with a lot of the teams they did when he was on VVV. They had these really clever just kind of ways to hide over certain walls and whatnot and play their matchups really, really cleverly. So definitely, I believe, influenced a little bit by Roshan Now there, which is a really strong reason to have him on your team in a judgment format like this. And people that are asking, where is Captain America? Well, that perfect. I Love Jevu. I Love Jevu is actually replacing Captain America. Breezair's good friend, the Captain America, who was supposed to be the captain for his team. Breezair had to step in. Apparently had some college schoolwork or college obligations or other stuff in life where he couldn't make it. So I Love Jevu has hopped in here. Mr. Swag, as we've called him earlier. The guy that was picked in the live judgment tournament because he had a leather jacket, not because he was like a 2400, 2300 player.
And yes, we did go to PAX. We do have PAX skins. We'll be giving them. We'll probably give a few away here tonight, especially for those of you that are tuning in, first-time viewers. We like to entice you to our stream, but hopefully you like what you see. You'll subscribe to our social media.
Yeah, and we want to give you prizes. We go there and get them for you, not for us. We're not greedy guys. We just want to get them and give away to the community and help support you guys because you support us. And that's even why we run these tournaments. I mean, they're community inspired. So this should be pretty cool. So there's no 2v1 strats going down, but pauses keep going down. So someone's internet connection sucks. is what I'm guessing is going to happen. Now, an interesting thing that was brought up that Riot probably needs to look into fixing. I know at least from the competitive teams that I've talked to, is this time limit that you see here. Now, it's not. It's a shared time limit. It's not actually separated. So if a team was to pause and they were to use up 25 minutes and you wanted to pause for your team, you would only have 5 minutes for yourself, which is pretty unfair. So really what Riot needs to do is whenever one team pauses for either side, they have an allotment of like 15 minutes, let's say. And that way they're not eating into their opponent's time. Because then, not that it's likely that someone will be gone for that long, but it's something they should probably look into for the competitive scene, because there could be some shenanigans where one team wastes a bunch of time, and when another team really needs it, it's not fair. They don't get as much time to wait for their player to return.
Yeah, I know at the high level, they have so much support that if there a technical issue would arise, that it would get fixed. And I got a chance to talk to some of the refs. Like, they have on-stage refs, they have backstage refs, they have like guys on walkie-talkies, like, and just like watching the game to make sure there's any sort of cheating.
I'm saying even as a standard feature, it should probably be put in to everything, just so things are fair. Because as the current way it stands, it's not really fair for the teams.
That's true. I know. When's the last time I saw it? But I'm sure it could. Certainly could happen.
Well, I mean, it's been brought up by local players, which is why I bring it up. But anyways, we got a game underway. And it looks like I Love JV is actually pushed back to his tower, probably because he's having trouble. He's getting DC'd a little bit, and they're afraid of the zoning that is going to come from Adept down here in the bottom lane on this Blitzcrank. I've actually been a huge fan of Orianna lately, so I'm glad to see her in here. I mean, two of my favorite AP mids actually going against each other in the mid lane, which I think is kind of cool. But Orianna, Malphite, like any combination of that, even Orianna Shyvana when she ults in, jumps in, and then you combine her ult with that, is just absolute sick combo for team fights. So we should expect Red Team to bust that out a few times once we get into this actual team fighting phase further on.
And it looks like Reaver Face getting an advantage here, mainly just in harass against Malphite. Now Malphite just probably wants to wait a little bit to see if Shyvana can sneak in the top here. She does have that double buff.
But yeah, it looks like he's getting pretty deep. He has his shield back up. Maybe going to try to bait the dive onto him, because if you can do that, then she won't have the refresh and be able to use it to escape. But another gank coming in for Evil Cookie. Who's going to get the first kill? Looks like Malphite's in a lot of trouble, but that Q does miss. Breezair's doing a lot of damage. It looks like Malphite coming back in, possibly getting caught out. Evil Cookie is so close to picking up, but I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to get picked up instead. Beautiful play there by Breezair, just sitting there doing that sustained damage, and Malphite just staying there doing as much damage as he possibly could while staying safe. I like that play. I think in that engagement right there, Reaper Face probably, the difference was that Reaper Face backed off from the team fight, decided he was out of the team fight, and Malphite decided that he could still go in there and contribute. I think if maybe Aurelia came back in, they might have been able to stay there the entire time. They might have had a better shot at it, but
yeah, and I think with Evil Cookie missing his Q, could have been the difference there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of damage output. I mean, Malphite would be dead if that had landed and he came back. I mean, Malphite probably doesn't come back in that case. But it would have been at least a closer fight. Might have been able to escape, something around that level. But I like this play from Breezair. Breezair, MVP of Judgment BC #2. So good to see him coming back out here with some good jungle play.
That was when they went up against the, well, I wouldn't say fan favorite, but favorite team of Griffle. Or was it Griffle or GG Ice? I think it was Griffle, and they just made him grab Boots of Swiftness and camp top as Skarner.
Yeah. Skarner, Boots of Swiftness top. #1 way to beat Griffle if he's trying to play top lane against you. You heard it here. But said Griffle last tournament just absolutely tore it apart. His team was spectacular. It was able to take out Tien Quach, who's another captain that's actually in this tournament. But Tien Quach is the most successful captain we've ever had easily. He's gotten first, and second. And he was on the verge of the hat trick. But then Griffle with his team put together an awesome team fight around Baron. And then after they won that, they rushed straight. Because Tien Quach's team actually got Baron. They won a team fight with being down in Team Gold, and Tien Quach's team having Baron. They won that team fight, even though they had Baron, then rushed to the enemy's base and were able to kill their Nexus before they were able to respond. And it was a really, really epic conclusion. If anybody wants to see that game and how cool it really is, go to youtube.com/RazeRWeaponMedia, and it should be one of the first games up there. It should be the Judgment Gold Finals. You can find it in the playlist on the right-hand side. But yeah, that game was pretty solid game, and we're looking at what's probably going to be a really good game here too. Looks like 1K up for the red team. They got the early first blood, which was really, really nicely played, and then some good counter jungle counter gank action up in the top lane, winning a skirmish up there.
So while this game is paused, I've managed to tune in to our sister channel on RYW Media 3, and I'm watching Team I'm Black Y'all go up against Endless Integrity, and so far they're up about 7K gold about 19 minutes into the game.
That game seems like it's going good for one team.
They're running promote.
Oh,
promote
so I'm Black Y'all actually he messaged me before this game came up, and he was like, you should have picked our game because our game's gonna be awesome. So I'm interested to see if they keep it going, because you know what, you can't ban summoner spells. So if they want to run it every game this tournament, then they can do it, and I think that's actually a pretty cute strategy. So we might get to see it next round.
Said promotes OP.
What?
You said you can't ban summoner spells. Has someone come out and said promotes OP?
No, I'm saying you can't ban summoner spells just in general. So it's like if you felt that you were going to get cheesed, you can't ban out promote and stop it.
That's true.
Same reason you can't ban out flash. The only way you ban out flash is you create a new account, you play with a bunch of people that don't have flash. GG, there you go. You get to play without flash. See what League of Legends is like. All right, game is underway. And now here we are in a scenario where we've almost spent at least 10 minutes on pauses, I assume for Javu, I believe, who keeps disconnecting. I'm not quite sure on this one.
Looks like we're going to... I would expect to see an early Oracles on Breezair. Now that he's got First Blood and technically Second Blood, with all that extra gold and that early GP10, he might rush Phage / Wits End, but I would also consider an early Oracles at this point and really make life miserable for Aurelia in top lane, because Malphite's going to hit 6 first. And having the ability to, having Malphite on your team is amazing, because he's going to build tanky, he's going to be able to take a lot of extra damage and initiate fights under turrets. And I think that's just something that, especially when you have an advantage, that's you can use that.
Unfortunately, right now, if he was to buy an Oracle, there would be a lot of wards to kill, because blue team doesn't have a lot of wards up right now in bottom lane or anywhere. Malphite covering his back right there, but even red team doesn't have wards up in jungle, so a lot of gank opportunities are open. Looks like bottom lane kind of just like digging in a little bit there. Nice little juke from Javu, but I like the Sivir pick is pretty strong. I mean, Blitzcrank isn't going to pull off a grab. His best bet is actually to grab Roshan, if anything, if he actually wants to get a pull off. Because Javu, I respect his reflex skills enough that he's not going to be able to get grabbed. Unless they can bait it out and then try to go for a grab at that point. But it's pretty obvious Javu will be looking for it at that point. But it could be a zone out opportunity to do against their opponent if they can burn it and then just, feint it and then zone him off with some creeps, give him a little bit of advantage in that bot lane.
I always feel that you can almost bait out Server's Spell Shield. And it's like, especially if they're like, ha ha ha, come on, come at me, Aurelia coming back to lane, super strong, is just going to send Malphite packing.
What you know about true damage?
Malphite was not ready. Went with the early GP10 item, and Aurelia came back to lane with a Dorn's Blade and just said, you know what, I'm going to see if I can't put a little extra damage on you.
So the interesting thing here is Orianna is sitting at 56 CS, so she's 20 CS ahead of this Anivia, Saucilo in mid. Now the thing is, though, is that Orianna, typically, you expect to be a little bit behind in CS sometimes as Anivia, depending on the lane matchup. But Orianna can farm those creep waves really, really well. Anivia, obviously, one of the best pushers once you post 6, especially once you get the blue buff from your team. If you can get it from your team. I don't know if Evil Cookie's going to give it to him or not going forward. But if you do give him, then Anivia has a really good chance to catch up in CS on most AP mids, just because it's pretty free to clear waves. You can clear your Rays ridiculously fast as well. And she can roam in farmlands really, really quickly. So you could see a little bit of comeback from Satsu, even though he is down 20 CS in this mid lane. But right now, No Name Too Lazy. He was going to be a scratch, but he worked out his stuff. He wanted to play in Judgment so bad. And here he is, playing really, really solid Orianna mid.
And this just in, it looks like Team I'm Black Y'all has already defeated Endless Integrity.
The bold promote strategy. Well, we'll probably get to see it in the semifinals, since we will cast whoever they play next.
So right now, let's say you're the blue team, Pato. You've given up first blood, second blood. You taking a look at farm. You're kind of falling behind in farm. With Sivir is actually doing well. Even the Corki, but Orianna is getting a CS advantage in mid. What's your strategy?
The only real CS advantage I see is in mid lane. Your bottom lane, your top lane are actually creeping like slightly ahead. It's pretty much even. I think getting a gank off in mid would probably be the next big move to do. And there it is. There's a stun. Gonna get followed up. Oh, will they be able to count it though? The follow up so close. Ignite. There's the icicle, and that's exactly what they need to do. So thanks for setting up, blue team. that's really what the advantage they need. And now, Siobhan's going to come in here with the counter.
Sometimes
possibly.
We know what we're talking about.
And Anivia now, like I was talking about earlier, she's going to be able to clear these waves super fast, super hard. Probably farm. She can actually farm Orianna's raids if she really wanted to, back and forth, and just keep up the farm constantly. She's going to be pretty scary. Because the best part about Anivia is you don't actually need items to deal damage. You just need mana. And as long as you have mana, you can put out damage. You can make yourself tanky. You can do whatever you want. But, oh, wow. Jvu getting a good combo off in this bottom lane. Playing that Sivir really well with the reset and the Boomerang Blade. And putting Wizfujiin, making him base right now. So Wizfujiin's going to have to go back, buy up, and come back to lane. Hopefully a little bit stronger. He's actually going to pick up his Berserker Greaves and some health potions because he needs it. They got no other sustain in that lane to help him out.
Malphite looks like he might be working on another gold for 10. Might be going for that Heart of Gold. He's got the first Philo Stone. Might just roll with the double GP10 into Frozen Heart. It's a standard build. Should work okay against this team.
Yeah, definitely with the first and second blood, Shyvana's sitting pretty. She's 1,000 gold ahead. I'd like to see her, since she is ahead, maybe giving a little bit more presence in the enemy jungle, farming up a little bit more. But maybe it's just a safe play that they just want to run. Breezair wants to play it safe at this point. And maybe we'll see him actually get in there. Maybe we'll see him pull off some other ganks. Looks like there's some ping going down here.
Yeah, it looks like they knew there was a ward there, and he's also got that Oracle.
Yep.
Uh-oh, JVU a little bit in trouble. He's going to take a lot of harass. Now the Corki's back.
Ooh. Actually, good setup there by Janna, although he needs to be careful because all of those rockets are actually AoE. So even if you stand in front of the rocket, if you're too close, it'll still go off and hit the person you're trying to block.
2-for-1 special.
Yeah, I know.
Rockets. 2-for-1 special on Rocket Buffet.
Which I think is something like new players or a lot of players that see Corki, the big ones, the big huge one that you think is the AoE, but in fact all of them actually have an AoE. So something to be careful for. And Breezair knows this is not warded. Unfortunately, his bottom lane was just backed, so he's not going to be able to do anything here. Orianna's actually going to meet Diana in the jungle right now and just easily back off. Both teams setting up. I'd like to see Siobhan actually clear this out, clear out the dragon pit. The ward's going to fall pretty soon, but might as well get that vision advantage. Maybe just expecting the standard ward. So good job on blue team actually putting the ward there. It's something that Breezair is getting through Breezair's scope, his net.
Yeah, I think what they might do. See, if Breezair had also picked up a couple wards, and along with that Oracle, what he could have done is when he was over in that top half of the jungle, could have dropped a ward, and maybe if they go to defend that blue buff, they could then set up for a dragon.
Oh, the late jump over to try to get in there. So alt down for Breezair. He's not going to be able to pull off anything there. Nivea rotating by. She's probably going to farm Raze after she knows she's safe. No, she's just doing a lap. Sue's just going to do the laps.
So with Malphite having that top lane push, we might see him come down here. Oh, he's thinking about it.
He's just warding.
Yeah, I would like to see him rotate down. I don't think he's gonna, get anything off here on Reaper. He's not gonna beat him straight up. Might as well go down there and save that ult and try to see if he can't pop that ult on Anivia.
Oh, Spell Shield is down. That's perfect time. That's exactly what Evil Cookie needed to come in here and start some damage. Sucks her back in. Looks like JV might be in a little bit of trouble. Roshan's going to eat that flashback out. Will they be able to escape time? And Nivea's even rotated down too. JV's splitting out. But the Evil Cookie really wants Roshan. Roshan now turning around, popping up with a Howling Gale. And they're going to switch off aggro. Evil Cookie's just barely going to survive. Roshan now not flinching. And meanwhile, Red Team taking the blue buff because they know that everybody on the blue team, minus Aurelia, is down on that bottom lane.
Uh-oh. Fun times here for Aurelia. Oh, they might bait it out.
It looks like that is probably what's going to happen. Malphite not coming down there. They don't actually have a lot of vision quite there, so they have to guess. And Shyvana's actually going to catch this out, so something is going to go down here. Looks Shyvana all over Aurelia. Aurelia doesn't actually have a dash out target. There's the Malphite ult. There's the ball. There's the suck in. There's the ignite. And goodbye. Goodbye, Aurelia. And now they can actually push this top lane if they really want to. And Navy taking advantage of this, pushing her waves in mid lane into this tower constantly. A little low on mana, though.
I think if I were Breezair, I would, or Malphite, I would say, let's shove this, get this turret, and let's run straight to Dragon. Let's start to snowball this advantage that we're starting to build. And I think, Malphite's going to put some work here on this turret. Instead, I think they're just going to have the turret eat. Oh, that's probably about 2 creep waves worth of experience.
Yeah, that's a good deal of gold experience. Going to deny from Aurelia. Trying to get back to lane, just spawn now. Doing a little bit of dancing as well. But yeah, if you're a top lane, you can get behind the turret. You can get in this scenario too, where you can just clear whole creep waves. You don't have to worry about last hitting. You can sustain through the wave, and the turret's just going to efficiently wipe out waves for you in XP. Then that's definitely a good scenario if you're in top lane. Evil Cookies is going to cover for a few experience and creeps there while it really comes and catches up. And just to see how this bottom lane shakes out. I love Jvu. Sitting at 125 CS versus 122. So he's actually pulled a little bit ahead and been able to farm. And that blade just clears a wave all on its own for him.
So as we start to transition to the mid game, who do you think's gonna have a better team fight? Let's say these teams go for Dragon here in a few minutes, or in the next 30 seconds.
I think that Red Team has a better overall team fight. If it's just hard engage, Red Team's team fight's better. If depending on if you can get a pick off though, I mean the good play though is in Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank could land a serious grab. They can easily just blow up anybody in that scenario. One thing I am worried about is their ability to pick off people. They're gonna be wanting to go for Sivir, but it looks like Adap getting picked off here after a dragon. They'll probably be able to take this bottom turret as well. Meanwhile, a gank possibly coming in on Malphite. Malphite gonna have to put on his juke boots here to get out of this. Get caught a little bit. He's just gonna ult to get out of this, easy and safe. And that has how top Malphites are so sturdy. They can just use their ult, decently low cooldown, just get out of dodge. Won't have it for the team fights. But now 4 members have collapsed on the bottom. They're easily going to be able to take this bottom turret, get some more gold for them in response to that top turret being taken by the blue team. They put 2 people up top. Dragon was basically free. And good play by the red team. And blue team trying to respond in turn, putting a lot of pressure on this mid turret.
Yeah, I really like that bot, being able to open up that bot lane, especially as the red team, because that might give you an advantage as that Baron becomes more and more of a target.
Yeah, your lane push is a lot easier.
Let's say you've got that bot lane pushed up to that second tier turret, and you just go back to base because it's pushed, and you see them send 2 bot. As long as Breezair keeps that Oracle, and keeps Baron sweeped, I think that there's just going to be that opportunity. Like maybe they pressure that bot lane turret, and you're like, hey, let's go. Let's sneak a quick Baron. They've certainly got the DPS to do it. If you take a look at Sivir, her ult can help really just that AOE attack speed steroid combined with Shyvana, who does quite a bit of damage. Physically, I think they would be, and plus you got Bubbles, you got Janna's free BF sword.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential there, positionally. The only thing I like to see for red teams, I like to see a lot more wards. They don't actually have a lot of vision here on the map currently. It's actually pretty lax, even though, but both teams do have oracles, so they are clearing out wards constantly. So that is part of it, and Breezair might be a little bit of trouble here, but just flashes out. Didn't quite have Dragon form yet, so had to burst the flash to get out of that situation. No problem though. It's okay. Just gonna farm up some more. It's gonna be decision time for Malphite though.
He should be pretty safe though. Worst case scenario, can always ult away.
Yep.
See a lot of pings going on. I think they want to set up something. Oh, let's crank grab.
That is not the target you were looking for. Oh, I got something. Sad face. Yeah, looking at items here, looks like Sivir's gone for the sustain with that Bloodthirster. Just gonna want to farm in lane as long as possible, get up as many items as she can. You know, that's really the goal there if you're going for the Bloodthirster early, as opposed to like a high damage item like an IE or something like that. Oh, engagement onto Reaper Face. Reaper Face getting slow. They don't really care about this turret. They probably will dive, except for Breezair taking way too much damage and losing Oracle. This is not worth it at all. Ooh.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of a, we won't call it, friendly trash talk before the game. And I think it was a lot of Breezair calling out Reaper Face saying, yeah, hey, I'm going to camp you. Wait, what?
Oh, what? What just happened?
Hey, yo.
Reaper Face is like, I totally got this.
I think Reaper might have been talking in chat.
Oh, no. Making plays. Roshan now caught out a little bit here, but not taking too much damage from Anivia. So Suzu trying to track it down, but great pick off. That's exactly what you need to do with a Blitzcrank on your team. And Red's going to have to back off out of this. There's no way they can sit in here, but they will get a turret. The question is, will they be able to escape? Jvu popping her ult to try to get that speed boost, to try to get out of this. Evil Cookie is going to be money. Has to land that Q. Spell shielded. Oh, but still, jumps in there, uses the ult, takes a lot of damage in return, not liking what he's getting fed back. Meanwhile, Malphite tanking everything, juking back into the bush. Exhaust going on to Jvu, getting blown up by Anivia there. Corky Wizfujiin still alive, but doesn't want to die, doesn't want to give up this double buff. Breezair is on the hunt, so close. Doesn't have Dragon form, though. Trying to juke back, falls, gives up double buff. Breezair now just going to stick it out and probably fight this. Malphite coming back into the fight. Ult in! They will be able to egg Anivia, but now they're going to have to focus there. They want to deal that damage, but Aurelia's come back into the fight. There's probably going to be a kill before Anivia goes down, and he's going to be able to pick up the kill. Satsulo with no health. 12 health left. Oh, love those fights.
So much throw in every bite. So much. That was like such the elongated skirmish that really Roshan kind of baited out, but he ran it. He kind of got caught. He ran in the bush, hid, was able to blue pill. And I know what Matt Kopp was thinking when he goes in on I Love JVU, and next thing you know, his team's not there.
Yeah.
Like, 100 times out of 100 times, I would say, where is my team?
Well,
or when I die, where was my team?
a lot of it, too, is, in these scenarios, too, and especially, someone like you said that's been playing some other games recently, has been playing a lot of League, and his jungle pass still look good. The problem is like whenever you're with a team or any new team, this is just natural to League of Legends or especially Judgment with these kind of new team setups. He knows Wizfujiin, knows Satsulu, but there's other shiny objects that are in the way, and when you get tunnel vision on that one person, which is basically what happened to Evil Cookie, you just kind of expect everybody else to be on the same page as you, and when they happen to not be, it ends up looking bad. But really, just a little bit of a miscommunication there. Probably
it's kind of an assumption too, because it's like, all right, it's their ranged AD carry, and we have a little. Malphite.
Oh, Wizfujiin, goodbye, sir. That Earth is not going to fly you to safety. Oh, and there's that speed up buff from Sivir coming in there. The turn on to I Love JVU, but she does have that Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster's actually going to let him catch back up all his health, plus the heal from Roshan now. Dragon is free now. They were able to pick up some kills in that bottom lane. Aurelia backing off from the ranged attacks of No Name Too Lazy. No Name Too Lazy zoning out. And they're going to pick up another Dragon here. So Red Team, they've been creeping. They're 5k ahead. They're going to soon be 6k ahead. And they're looking really, really strong. Have that Oracle's back up. Meanwhile, Evil Cookies, does he still have his? Yes, still. Was not able to die in that last fight, I guess. Or Banuan. So both teams still holding that, that map presence priority, but there is no wards on Baron, and it looks like Red Team's just going to straight up push, which is fine because they should do at this point. Not a lot of opposition.
They probably could not have made a play on Baron unless they had gone immediately. I think they're going to take this turret, and they'll probably just back out. They've got that Oracle still, so they'll probably want to sweep wards and really just create an opportunity where if they catch the blue team in transition. And we're going to see that here right now. Malphite's ult is up. I think this would be where they want to make a play.
Yeah, just waiting patiently. Here it comes. Here's the opportunity. Rocket in the bushes. Doesn't matter, though. Roshan now gets shielded, but is not the one diving the team fight. There's the ult. Actually, Orianna ult. Missing a little bit, but no, it doesn't even matter. The red team just so focused together. That wall actually only protecting Satsilo and Reaper Face. It was basically dooming the rest of their team. There was no support coming, guys. I made the decision for Reaper Face. I was going to protect him.
We're going to go ahead and just call this the Doom Wall.
Yeah. You cannot go this way in the jungle. We've blocked it off. Run down. Malphite not going to care too much about this harass from Satsilo, so just going to give up a lot of mana. Definitely needs to save it for creep waves at this point, although I don't even know if it's going to matter. Red team has a pretty good advantage here, 5v1, able to rotate down here. If they really just focus on Anivia and they're not under the turret when Anivia is dealing damage, then they're not even going to even care about this.
And
now here it's grab time. Grab time misses. Howling Gale OP. Slowing him down just enough, getting out of there. And red team's going to back off, taking a pretty nice victory kill on that bottom turret. There's going to be no turret to clear it, so if they get a bottom wave pushing, then that's free. They have to send someone there to stop it. Otherwise, that wave's going to push in, deal damage, inhibitor, and blue team definitely doesn't want that at this point.
Oh, Breezair might be getting cut out here.
Whoa, the flash. Rocket misses. That would be a silly kill give up. Blue team making a smart decision, knowing red team's going to back up, so they're like, all right, we can take a free turret. That'll give us a little bit of gold. So we don't, keep falling too far behind. I'll cut into that deficit just a little bit. But they're not going to be able to spend it till they go back. So they're already still, red team, because they did go back, just bought items. So they're pretty significantly ahead. Blue team's really going to have to, get those pickoffs with that Blitzcrank. They do have a super dive team, between Deanna and Aurelia there. So the tankier really gets the better for their team. Diana can follow stuff up. Sivir really kind of throws a wrench in that with her spell shield. Diana wants to go in there. She's not going to get the double dash, but she still is going to have a dash to get in there if she wants to, and then the peel for Aurelia is going to have to start. The danger is, though, is the red team is far enough ahead. They do have so much AoE damage. If they get any sort of solid engagement on blue team, like we saw in the bottom jungle, they're just going to blow them up before it even matters.
Yeah, the red team right now is really strong. I think this is the point in which they are the strongest. Right before, right here, that level 15 to 16 range. I think at 16 they're really strong. I think after that point they will actually begin to fall off. Their late game isn't as strong as the blue team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tend to side with that. I tend to think that blue team actually has a pretty good late game for team fights.
Oh, this would be the point!
Oh, wow.
Oh, please! Oh!
No one engages, but this... Oh, great wall. That wall was very, very good wall. Actually slowing down the advance.
Actually, I think the not grab was probably the best thing that could have happened. I think had they not grabbed, they would have forced a fight, and I think the blue team might have been committed to a fight.
I love the positioning we've seen here, and there's another Shurelia's coming here. Another wall. Oh, grab of Malphite. That's not necessarily who they want, but they might tear him down, and time is going to back off out of this. Re-engagement with the ult. Orianna ult's coming in here. Damage flying out. Red team getting a little bit low here. They need to be able to still focus on the carries. They haven't been able to tear down Wizfujiin yet. They are going to finally get him. Now they're going to take down Reaper Face and Evil Cookie. And all that's left is Satsulu with his double buff. Will he be able to survive? That is the question. Red team. And yeah, they got the team fight they wanted pretty much. Took a little bit of damage. Malphite getting grabbed. Not really the target you want to pick up. And now they're just going to focus down on Nivea. Get the ace. Get the double buff. And be sitting pretty.
That was odd. I'm surprised that turret didn't switch to Shyvana at all.
Shyvana OP. None of Shyvana's attacks grant cries for help from turrets.
And for
stealth patch.
Korean viewers,
so good little engagement for red team, although they're not capitalizing actually on anything off of that because they were so low. So, good news, bad news. Bad news is you got is. Good news is, they didn't take Baron. They didn't, take out an inhibitor or something like that. You still have a chance to possibly, if you want a Desperation Baron, go. Although red team has all the vision ever on the way to Baron.
I was actually drawing a little connect the dots thing. I was like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's the Big Dipper. I think I'm not quite sure.
And the only ward on the map for blue is
exactly it's in the red's hidey spot. They learned from last time. They're like, this is their hidey spot. We're covering this. We're getting this now. The question is, nope, Evil Cookie did not rebuy up another Oracle, so they won't have the ability to clear wards on their team, which becomes a little bit troublesome for their hopes to actually defend Barons, try to run them around their own map even, because Red should be able to shut that down, should be able to take advantage on the map if they want to.
So Orianna is actually about pretty close to completing that Rabadons. She's really, she still has a lot of support in her kit. She's doing quite a bit of damage. The minute she finishes that Rabadons, it's going to be brutal. Like, it's not just going to put them all about half health. It's going to, like, be finishing off someone.
Yeah, those command distances are going to hurt a lot. And really, she's 2,500 gold actually ahead of Satsulu at this point. So that's a pretty good advantage to have over your AP mid at this point as far as the carry goes. Nivea obviously still doing good damage, but she's overall her build just better.
3 and almost 4 members with a 2,500 gold advantage over
Which is
Satsula.
something you like to see, especially with this team comp like we talked about earlier. They've cleared out the wards, ping's going down, and we might see a Baron go down here if they decide to engage, although they might just try to bait out blue team again. They've removed all the wards. They know they have the vision advantage, although they don't have their own wards up at this point. Looks like Roshan now is just going to peek up here at this top lane.
Uh-oh.
A little dance action, and now they see each other. Wall's going down. Wall, another way to gain vision, too. Obviously, they've been pretty clutch lately as far as being defensive, not allowing red team to actually get engaged on them. Great grab on Siobhan, but Siobhan should be able to dash back out unless she has enough health, though fails it. And that is the clutch kind of blitz play that they needed. So now fighting over Dragon's going to be, a very rough deal. Malphite actually caught in the back of Baron. He's going to ult out. Ooh.
I don't know if that was worth it. They've killed their smite.
Yeah,
I mean, Malphite's ult for free. I think what they might be able to do is set up a Blitzcrank grab into the Baron pit. They have the ward there to do it.
I think they're just a little tentative based on how this game's been going. I like how Rayleigh comes in, does her combo, and you're like, oh, wow, Malphite took a lot of damage, and then you realize it was just his shield, and then he gets all his health back.
So, blue team realizing that even though they had a potential Baron, which would have definitely put them in a situation to really get back in this game, they're going to go ahead and take the little bit of farm that they could here in bot lane, put that on Corki. Corki does have 250 CS. Looks like he is still working on the IE. He already has Triforce.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the next item in his item progression. People that really stick to the Phantom Dancer, because Corki's a little bit, he's unlike your standard AD builds that most people go, where there's like damage item, Phantom Dancer. He doesn't really need the attack speed quite as much just because of his kit and the rockets and the Gatling gun. He really just needs the straight up damage. Like if you go Triforce, Infinity Edge, his damage output is crazy. And that's really actually a better build on him overall than just going like IE Phantom Dancer. Oh, they're going to meet each other. They're just going to face check, and Shirelius is popped. They're jumping in. Wall's actually going to hold out the red team for a little bit. For how long? Satsulu already really low. Trying to gather this. Really already dead, gone. Getting picked up here. Evil Cookie not even lasting any time at all. Satsulu is just going to be egged here very, very shortly and get melted. And Wizfujiin running for his life. Getting chased down here. Orianna with the triple kill. Jumping in there, and there's the quadra kill to finish it off, and that should probably be game. I have to believe Team Roshan now is going to be able to finish this off.
Yeah, they've also got a free inhibit bottom should they choose it, but they don't even need it. They've got enough creeps here. They're going to push down these two Nexus turrets. And GG, congratulations going out here to Team
Breezair, we'll
Captain
say.
America, picked by Breezair and substituting the captain with I Love JVU. Oh. Let's crank getting on the board right before the game.
So good game by both teams. Some good coordination there, and I really think the red team, that early game coordination, those first 2 kills kind of set blue team behind, and they really took advantage of it. And just overall, like their team, like just cohesion, like how they were always setting up, being really patient. Like they were setting up traps and plans, which you'll see people typically just do that straight up in a bush, but like they were actually working. You could tell they were working really, really well together. Minus that really long skirmish we had in the top lane there, where Roshan now got caught out. But overall, good game.